Cause all this rain, all this pain, why my nigga had to change. Can I talk to God for a minute? Why you always in the sky?
Welcome back to Who That We have Najie Dun. Appreciate you coming through on your birthday.
Yeah, man, what's poppin'? What's poppin'?
So Najee, tell us about your journey into the music.
Uh, it was a tough one. It wasn't everybody would expect my journey to be a little more easier, but because my father he does he has a lot to do with the music in the Bahamas, but he was one that did not want me to be into music for some strange reason. He was like, no, I don't need you to go through that. I don't want you to do that because I do that. I want you to do it because you want it for yourself. So I had like to prove, oh, this is what I want. This is what I love. And then it was kind of harder because I doing rap, not just rap, but I doing gospel rap, and a lot of people they wasn't really respecting that back then.
So why gospel rap?
I mean, honestly, uh, I always wanted to, I always had a story to tell, and I always knew that the only reason why I'm able to do this music was because of God. So if I'm gonna do it, let me just do it all the way for Him. Like I never was the secular rap. I never was that guy who had to stop doing this to do gospel rap. I never made a switch. It was always this from day one.
So like you said about the act, so you grew up in the church.
Yeah, I grew up in the church. I grew up in the church, and I would always I this is what I would always say. I grew up in the church, but I always had a heart for the streets.
So I see you dropped but I want to go too far in the future. So this project you dropped. This which project is this? This like third, fourth, fifth.
This is actually my third mixtape, but I have two albums.
And just give us a brief background on the first two albums.
The first two albums. The first album is called Relentless Pursuit. That right there was basically my journey in finding God and finding out, my purpose, what I want to do in life. And it was telling people that what, it's a bigger purpose than you just living life every day, waking up in the morning, but go out and find the truth. The truth is God. So now, the pursuit continue was the second album to let you know that what, even when you find God, that's not it. Now that you found the truth, it's time to share the truth. So your pursuit continues. It's never over. It's never over. The job is not done.
So when people then actually done what you want, the first thing that comes to their mind.
The thing about it, I don't even want them to think about me. My thing is, I always want to be that person to make Jesus famous. So the first thing that comes in your mind is just think about like God.
And you said it was an easy path for you. So tell me something about the challenges you faced, other than your father not wanting you to be into music, but the choice you made to do gospel rap. What type of backlash have you received or pushbacks from like any be it radio or friends, family, anything like that?
Oh, I mean for sure. I had family members telling me, what, focus on something other than that. Keep playing basketball. Keep keep doing school. Find a topic in school, something you like. Go to college. Do something. I faced at the age of 14. My daddy was sick. He had cancer. He was at the fourth stage in cancer. And they gave him 6 months to live. So 14-year old without his father, you know, I I always try to hold on to the music and hold on to God, but I mean it was hard just to even have the belief, still believe that what, by like God really checking for me. So I find myself doing stuff like what normal teenagers would do without their father, like just looking for a role model or something to believe in again, and uh, you know, also with me being a gospel artist, of course, radio play. That's one of the hardest things to get because I started out way before they had gospel stations. We only had 100 jams. We only had 94.9. We only had ZNS. So for me to try get on those get on those stations, it was really hard. But I mean, nevertheless, we worked hard and we pulled through and we did what we had to do.
And other than your father, obviously, can you tell me some of your influences growing up and now?
Now it's so funny because my most of my influences have like they have they have a lot not they have nothing to do with rap. Let me say that. It's more of me listening to producers. It's more of me listening to like the Christian Massive. You hear the the Monty G. You hear the I'm trying to think like just what I grew up on. I grew up on old school Otis. I grew up on Salt and Pepper. I grew up on Beach Boys. My father was also a DJ, so these influence like it's just music. Music influence and impact me in a serious way. I love music. Like just to keep it broad, I love music. So it's just it's so much. You got family members, my mother. You got friends that keep me going. The people that I actually do it for, that you would not think that they influence me, but I do it because I want them to see the change and them to see that. But it's more than life than just this little rock that we live on. It's more. We can go places. I've been places, and I want to see you go places. So that's just the influence.
So last week I woke up on Instagram and I saw that my entire timeline was your project, HIM. Tell us about that project.
Uh the project it was so funny because we did everything in 48 hours. When I say me, I mean me and Zoltan. Um, we it was something that we always talked about doing, and we talked about doing it. We only talked. We never worked or say, you know what, we can start this now. We never. So now you will be of like 48 hours until January 1st. And our thing was we wanted to do this at January 1st. Bring this out January 1st, first day of New Year's. Got to give them something new. And we faced with a challenge, 48 hours. Oh God, that's nasty. Everything in 48 hours. So this is so we, instead of complaining, we just did it and prayed that it work out. Keep in mind, we have no singers around, but we found some way to make it work. Cause I know if you listen there, you hear songs with singers on it. None of these guys are professional singers, but we had to make it work. It had to be done, and I'm just thankful for the feedback. Um, I'm just thankful that we could actually accomplish it. That like just it being out on the day was an accomplishment for me. So for me to meet my first resolution of the year, the day of the year it started, it's amazing for me.
I haven't had the chance to listen to it in full yet, but I did see you have the song with the twins that talk to God, and that was my favorite song from their project. Talk to me about that, how that collab came about.
I mean, Twin and Bois, those guys always like one thing I can say about those guys, they are down to earth. Like they was always cool with me. They came to me. They never tried to feel like I doing this now, so I don't have to look up to Najee or I don't have to say nothing to him. I is my own person. We doing our thing. Never ever said that or never ever treating me like that. So they called me up. I always would tell them, "Yo, I love your music. I'm a fan of their music," and I would tell everybody that I am a fan of those guys. Like, I listen to their music. I don't just listen, but I listen to their music. So they call me up, man, Naj, man, you always talking us but God, man. I want let's do a track, let's do a song, let's do it. And I kid you not, me and Zoltan had a meeting like the day before, and we was in the studio late night. We just was like I said, we this was one of the nights we was just talking about doing a mixtape, and I was feeling bad, bad, bad. When I say bad, horrible. I had the flu, and it was the day after I had the flu. Like when I started to get better, they called me. I was like, you know what? I made this commitment. Let me still go. And through all my sickness, I'm like, you know what? Let's go. And we stood there. We was in the room for about like 3 hours, 4 hours, and we just made it happen. We just made it happen. One thing I could say is I appreciate the chemistry between those guys. That it was easy for me to feed off that energy and that the brotherly love that they have for each other made me feel like, like I told them the other day. I say, stop telling people you twins, we triplets. It's us three. So I mean, it was so fun doing that, and I mean, I look forward to doing like more collabs with them, or just being a brother to them and being a mentor to them. I look forward to always being a person to them.
Before I let you go, two things. Let me know what if you could tell us your plans 2015. Let people know how they can find you.
All right, boy, 2015. it's a lot I want to say, but it's a lot I can't say. I really can't. I'm not allowed to. But I'm just saying, like, look out for a lot of stuff this year. I plan to drop a lot more music this year. That was just 8 tracks. So I plan to drop a lot more music this year, and I that's my promise to everybody out there. I'm gonna drop a lot more music, so expect a lot. I can't say exactly what it is. I really wish I could, but just expect a lot. You can hit me up on Facebook. It's Najie Dun, the church boy, or Najie Dun Live Life, Cartwright. Or you can hit me up on Instagram. Instagram is much easier. It's Najie Dun underscore TPC. So actually, I got that wrong. It's Najie NHAIE underscore TPC on Instagram. So just hit me up. Collabs. Just if you wanna just show me some love, hit me up. Follow. I follow back all the time. So it's whatever. But that's basic way to reach me.
This has been Who Dat and happy birthday to Najie.
Homies in the dirt. Used to get criticized by the church. I be lying if I said it was easy. Dad got sick, everybody leaving.